Hey, hello everyone, Recabilly here. So if you know anything about me, you know that I love minigames and I love making concepts of minigames. So today I decided I'm going to start showing some bits and pieces of how to build a minigame. So right now we're working on targets, and this is just 5 samples of what you can use as a target. So obviously if you create a target like this, you can shoot this and nothing will happen. They added this block here, which is pretty amazing and I love it. You can definitely use this. This is very basic, number 1 here. You shoot this in the middle, you get all 3 points. Shoot this a little bit on the edge, you only get 2 points. Shoot it as far on the edge as you can, you only get 1 point. And then you can use that to get to your scoreboard by whatever means that you want, and I will create different videos in the future on how to do scoreboards and stuff like that. This is another one that I created. It's a little bit bigger. You can do this from further away or even while moving. It's pretty simple. There is one downside though. You can only shoot this once every so often. You can't shoot back to back, otherwise it messes up. Now obviously you can't see what's going on just yet, but behind the banners we just have target blocks. Nothing too fancy. The banners just give the look of one larger target block. But behind them we have these droppers. And inside the droppers we can see we have some useless garbage that tells us, oh, it's 3 points. This one is 2 points, and then the outer edge is 1 point. So if you aim in the middle, you're gonna get 3 points. And it just spit out on the floor because I removed the glass, but that's the one that will come up. Let's take a look at it. 3 points, perfect. And then you just use a basic item filter. And in here, this tells you, okay, this one's for 3 points, this is for 2 points, this is for 1 point. And then it's just gonna fill up in here, and all you need to do at the end or after this runs out after a while, just go back in, restock your droppers. This is not fully automatic. You have to restock your droppers for this one to work. Every time you want to make sure, like in case somebody just gets nothing but 3 points, that one's gonna be empty before you know it. So definitely make sure you restock. Now the way that you get your points is actually by these repeaters right here. So each one is gonna pulse. So if I shoot the side right here, this will be a 1 point. The diamond drops out, goes through the filter, and then that repeater pops up or gets lit. And then that's your 1 point that can go to your scoring system in the future. If I shoot it on, let's do the side for 2 points, you'll see the 2.1 gets lit. Very good. And if I shoot it in the middle, you'll see the 3.1 gets lit. Pretty simple idea. It's just a basic item filter, and you can see all of the components and redstone bits and stuff that goes into it. Very simple. And then you just put your repeaters at the end here, and that's where you get your score. Alright, now let's go check out this one. This is a much simpler one, but it does only check if you get the bullseye. So if you shoot the sides, nothing is going to happen. But this is one that I actually used to do way back in like 1.8, I think. But it's been available for a long time. So basically, you shoot the bullseye and you get a point. Now, as you can see, the block pushes down, pushing the arrow out of the way, and it resets itself. And the way that works is, if you didn't know this already, if you shoot the side of a pressure plate or a block that a pressure plate is on, it actually activates the pressure plate. And then it lights up the redstone right here, pushing the piston down, which pushes the block. So if you actually shoot it in the correct spot where you're supposed to, it will push the arrow out of the way. And that gives you a pulse. So then you can use that pulse to go to your scoring system or whatever else it is that you want it to do. Alright, let's go to this one. This one is a bit more of a game itself. We have a clock here. And why isn't this one going off? Alright, this one was a little bit bugged out, but I got it working now. Or hopefully I did, at least. Alright, so this one's a simple idea. We have 4 different targets right here. We turn this on and then we start shooting these targets. And then they will start randomly popping back up. So as you can see, those went down. Okay, now these ones pop back up. And now some more are gonna pop up. Only one that time, that's cool. So it has a random chance of, oh yeah, doing one, doing none, or even doing all 4. Look at that, so many of them popped up that time. But it's not gonna be every time. See, sometimes only one pops up. It's a pretty simple idea. Fun little game, but it's just kind of a way to get some targets. And it doesn't have to be set up like this. It can be set up in any way. For example, these targets can be set all around you in a much larger map, and then you can have to shoot them fast enough before a certain time runs out or whatever. Maybe there's a bunch of these going off, and then you have to try to turn them all off at the same time. So if you turn them all off at the same time, then you win, kind of thing. It doesn't have to be a simple little setup like this. This is just a concept to give you the idea on how to make this actually work. So basically, when you're shooting this target block, it actually powers this dropper and then sends the item into here. And this is a D flip-flop, pretty simple. The way that you turn the target back on is by sending a signal through here. So let me go ahead and turn this on. And you can see we have some repeaters, or not repeaters, some comparators. And every time this pulses, it has a chance of sending the wooden sword or a random block. So when it sends the sword, the signal strength is actually large enough to send the block that's in here into here. And when the block is in here, this comparator turns off, which triggers this whole observer line, and then sends a 1-tick pulse to this piston, which pushes the target back up. You hit that gets sent, and then this changes, sending the pulse back to the piston, pulling the target block down. Alright, and now we have a bit more of a classic one. We have the minecart on rails, and your goal is to shoot the minecart. Now, I learned that in creative mode, if you shoot a minecart, it doesn't actually pop the minecart out. So let me switch to survival. Oh, and I need to get arrows. Hold on. Put some arrows there. Alright. So now, just try to shoot the minecart. It's kind of difficult. You need to shoot a little bit ahead of it. There we go. And then it pops out another one. Boom. And every time you kill one, it'll send this pulse, because what it's doing is sending the minecart down here. This tests to see if there's an item in it. So if the minecart is in there, it'll send a pulse to send the minecart back up here. It'll dispense the minecart up here, but you can use this pulse right here to go into your scoring system any which way you'd like. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. I think the most complicated one is probably this one. Yeah, I would say that one. Even though it's not too complicated, it's probably the most complicated out of the 5. Obviously, this one is just built in game, but you can definitely use it if you don't want to go through all this kind of redstone stuff. If you're trying to make a bigger minigame in your survival world, these are the ones to go for. This is probably my favorite. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, please leave a like and let me know what kind of mechanic I should work on next. I already have an idea going over there, so that's some fun stuff. But let me know if you have any ideas on what kind of minigame mechanics that you would like to see for your survival worlds, and I will try to create some samples for you to learn from, or to take inspiration from, or even just to straight up copy. I don't care. Alright folks, have a good day. Take care.